Hello and welcome to Okina Oka Gunpla. I'm looking over there, I shouldn't be looking, I should be standing there. I just want to talk through a couple of injection moulding defects that are quite common for model kit makers. Nothing too drastic, but a bit of a information, help people understand them better. So the first one we've got, very simple, is flash. So what you'll see that as on a part is, so you've got, simple put, you've got a square part like this, and along the seam line, so where the two halves of the mould tool touch, you'll get like a feathered edge. Could be little, could be large, could be on the corner, so you'll end up with a bit of a rough seam with it. Very simple. Always comes down to poorly maintained tooling. Basically if you get that on a tool, it's not been looked after properly. So silvering, if you look at it, so you've got, say, your nice chest piece of your Gundam, and you've got a hole over there for that, then it comes down to a bit by here, like that, exaggerated, something like that, not even. Normally get on big flat surfaces, it'll look like a wavy line running down your surface. And this is very simple. There's nothing you can do about it. Well, as a customer, there's nothing wrong with the part. What it is I'm going to get rid of this now. So if I just show you an example of a sprue, so you've got parts like that on there. So what it is, very simply, is plastic will flow in, and usually on a Gundam sprue you've got a little piece like that in the middle. So what happens is the plastic comes in here from this goes in every direction then, and as it meets, so like somewhere by here, so imagine this is a nice big outside edge of your shield, and that's your big inside edge then, so what you'll get is the plastic will flow in by here, it'll flow in, and that'll flow in on that side. It'll be fine this bit, but as it flows that side then, the plastic will cool down, and what you get is the mould flow front. So if I go at the top, you go by here, so what it looks like is the two cold fronts just basically butt up to each other, and it's not molten enough, so it's not liquid enough to mix, so you end up with, so that's your part, cross section view. This is where your your mould line, sort of silvering line, looks like, and in the plastic it just looks like that. It is a weakness, but it doesn't affect it cosmetically. Well, it is a weakness, but it doesn't affect the use for something like a model kit. If that was a structural part like an engine mount, a plastic engine mount, you'd have to process that out. So you'd make one of these bigger than this one to push that further away. Most of the time they'll leave it there. It's no harm to anyone, and that's pretty much it really. So the next one, real common, not explained often, is, so you'll have your part look a bit like, so isometric view of it, you'll have like a section in the middle that's like slightly lower down than the rest of it, like someone's pressed the pressed into it and melted it a little bit. So what this is, very simply, is because of plastic is, molten plastic, it's heated up to excess of 200 degrees. So what happens is you always have this when, so the back of your thing, you'll have a peg, it'll look like this. So your part will look like that. You will almost always get a sink where this feature by here, the amount of material by here makes the plastic sink in. So this cools faster, keeps its shape. This stays hot for longer and pulls the plastic in. So what you'll find, if you did cut it in half, this bit by here would also be sunk in then as well. It can be avoided with really clever mold tool design, but it's the sort of thing when you get it, it costs stupid amounts then to try and fix it then. So one of the other defects you can get is called gas bubble. So on your part it'll look side on like it's got a lump like that, very subtle, usually very subtle. As you cut the part open, what you'll find is you'll have like an air bubble in there, and what this is caused is by trapped air in your mould because of the heat that's involved. So something like a bubble's got in, it's settled at this point by here. The heat of the mould has actually made that expand, and it'll kind of pop. And while you will probably find somewhere there'll be little tiny bits where it has escaped at some point, because that won't be under pressure, you won't be able to pop it like a spot. It's a very simple one. Another common one I've seen is, so simple shaped part, add some depth to it just to make it look real. What you'll see is it'll look like, the best way to describe it, it's called silvering. I know I've mentioned that before. It's called silvering, so what it does is it'll look like streaks or sort of a rough patch. They can be quite small, quite big, and what this is very similar to gas bubbles. It is the moisture in the plastic. So if you haven't dried your part properly, you'll get moisture that will just turn into a gas and burn. So all these are is like soggy bits of plastic that are burnt up. It does not affect the part at all, other than that cosmetic sort of discoloration you'll get. So like a dark blue part will have this on it, and it could be really dark or it could be really light. Just a case of you're gonna have to paint the part really.